Yeah, I think it flies in the people think that you should have like a good like you should have that all figured out. I think you go the opposite. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it's a disaster, and then you really spend most of the time talking about
About technical
The tech-
settings
difficulties.
and configs. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I basically just do my job, but on my IT job.
that's the spirit.
Alrighty. And now I'm going to change it from just chatting, ew, gross, patooey, to special events. Whoa, ha.
Oh boy.
Isn't that fun? All right, well, welcome one and all to the inaugural DM Live. Woo. Piped in audience applause, hooray.
I love inaugurals.
Don't we all? This is going to be a fun little show where we're going to do 2 competitive games that will test our contestants' wit and banter and totally intelligence. They are intelligence-based. We will know who's smarter at the end of this. And then afterwards, we're going to do a nice collaborative session where we're going to make a setting together. So you'll be able to see the inner workings of all of our brains as we create together. And if you guys want to introduce yourself, go ahead. We'll do Niko first because he's above me.
Me first?
You first.
That's a bad idea. My name is Niko. My YouTube channel is called Dice Brain, and I make miscellaneous D&D videos. That is me. Thank
Very
you.
cool. And Ryan.
Yeah, my name is Ryan. I have various accounts under Ryan MLDM. I like to make videos also about D&D, mostly with minis. That's I play with toys on the internet. That's what I do. for the most part.
Heck
I
yeah.
Just try to find justifications for that.
Hey, it makes your background look really cool.
Yeah.
After you
Yeah.
do it enough.
Look at all my foam, my painted foam.
Hey, it's easy to move.
Mhm.
All right. Well, we will get into that. I have a question for both of you, an inaugural question. So, I have heard people describing the GMing style of popular GMs in the space. Matt Mercer is like an audiobook, Brennan Lee Mulligan is like a screenplay, and Abria Iyengar is like a conversation. Given these types of classifications, how would you describe your GMing style?
Ryan?
Oh, me.
Oh, just throw him immediately under the
It
bus.
doesn't feel good, does it, huh? It doesn't feel good to go first.
Well, I get the inaugural answer.
You do. That's true. Oh, it will all be based on this.
I guess following those, I would consider myself. I'm a party planner.
Oh.
I set my approach to running sessions is generally to have a sort of a pitch, a kickoff, and then I have various things that I pull in as things start to die down. And I just try to kick things back up and give more prompts. I think most good games are players reacting to something, so I give things to react to, and I think of things as in that way. So yeah,
Gotcha. Once people stop dancing, you turn on a different genre of music.
that's yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Nico, what do you think?
I think Ryan's answer was great. I think he's a great DM.
Stalling.
That is what I think. Thank you. It's really hard for me to describe because, like, I don't think I would describe. Thank you so much for asking.
Yeah, do you want to repeat the question so that you have a little bit more time? Yeah.
The question that you are asking is what form of media my DMing style is most like. And I want to say screenplay, but I feel like screenplay is a little too... I feel like my DMing style is like a Saturday morning cartoon, if I were to describe it. Like the classic Saturday morning 80s cartoon is how I would describe my DMing style.
Cool. Sounds good.
So best enjoyed in your underwear with like Fruity Pebbles. That's basically.
I think most of the people at my table are wearing underwear. Just pulpy, cereal kind of catchphrases and merch deals.
And notice how we both really tried hard to avoid comparing ourselves to any of these names you brought up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, given these options, I'm gonna use a fourth or a fifth.
Well, I won't leave you guys hanging. I have thought about this for myself. I would consider it sort of a community theater production.
That's a good answer.
Everyone is trying their best. There are props sometimes when we felt like it. And when we didn't, we just draw on a piece of paper. And it's that easy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that,
The user's easy.
yeah, exactly. That's how I like my D&D. Nice and easy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the first in our long line of prestigious games is the hit game show Reality or Fantasy. In this game, which is by my own creation, I will give my contestants the name of a thing as well as two competing descriptions of said thing. One of the descriptions will make it sound as if it is a thing from real life and exists on Earth, whereas the other will make it sound like that thing is from one of the many fantasy settings of Dungeons & Dragons. One of the descriptions is real, one of them was entirely made up by me. And the contestants have to suss out which is the truth and which is the lie. Is the thing from reality or from fantasy?
So just to set expectations here, Niko, I think I know the answer to this, but how many pre-written modules have you ever run? Because my answer is
Me?
0. I have one. I haven't touched any of the
Any of
I
the
don't know
lore.
A lot about lore. Yeah.
I've run Lost Mines of Phandelver quite a few times.
Oh, and that's the one that
I've
you
run-
hate. Famously.
Yeah, well, the reason why I hate it is because I spent so long trying to make it work. And then I realized, like, I just can't make this fun. Then I made a video complaining about it. Yeah.
All right.
And then I made a not-so-critical video about Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and I'm currently playing through Curse of Strahd. But most of the time I do ignore the Faerun, Forgotten Realms lore,
Gotcha.
because it's just so much of it.
Well, that's good, I feel like. I feel like you need to just go off vibes. And to add to that, I created about 50 of these prompts, and we're only going to see 10 today. I did create an equal amount of reality and fantasy, but I'm going to choose them via random number generator. So,
All right.
who knows what the distribution will be? It could be weighted more fantasy today or more reality. You won't be able to tell just by the distribution.
Great.
I also don't know much about reality.
When I was in 5th grade, I was really into like superheroes, comic books, and then once I was told that, I was unable to discern fantasy from reality. So I think I'm starting at a disadvantage.
That does sound like a slight hindrance for this, but I think it'll be fine.
I feel like I'm in a handicap right now, and I wish to be compensated by shooting Ryan in the leg.
Oh boy. Okay, well, I cannot give you Ryan's shot leg, unfortunately. But I can give you the first guess on the first round.
Okay.
So I will.
Where can we see these questions?
You do not see the questions anywhere. I will read them to you.
Okay.
I can't have you looking at them and determining by my writing. You have to. I might give a speech. Okay. So the first one is Henry Paget. One option is the disgraced son of the Paget line, one of the 8 noble houses in the Protectorate. Henry makes a living as a private eye in Sharn, in the famous setting Eberron, helping his clients locate those that don't want to be found. On the side, he continues to investigate who framed him for embezzlement and had him removed from power. So that is the fantasy description. The reality description. A late 1800s aristocrat, the Marquis de Henry Paget, was obsessed with Jules' opulence photography, mostly of himself. He was described by his contemporaries as a sort of apparition, a tall, elegant, and bejeweled creature. Which is it? The reality or the fantasy? And Niko, you claimed first round. That was your handicap.
Oh, that was okay. Well, I'm thinking Henry doesn't sound like a fantasy name,
Mm-hmm.
and embezzlement is kind of a pretty crazy crime to include in your fantasy world. But it is pretty fitting for Eberron.
Uh-huh.
Oh God, I really can't discern fantasy from reality. But also, was photography really around in the 1800s? Was that like a thing
I
that
don't
people
know.
were doing? Like, were there photog? I guess there must have been. Final answer: reality.
Reality. I see. Ryan, do you have an opinion?
Oh boy. So okay, so I get it. I get to.
You get your own answer. This is not collaborative. This is competitive, baby. You earn 20 points each, and it's 20 points because I said so. And those points will definitely matter later.
Well, I'll play the odds on this one because I'm not sure at all. But I'll say Eberron. I'll say it's a fantasy.
Okay. So you're both saying what? Or no? Niko said reality. Ryan said Eberron.
Yep.
It was reality. Henry Paget was a French nobleman who, if you look him up, the photography of him looks like he's doing like drag in like early 2000s New York. Like
His name was Henry Paget.
Yes, in the 1800s, he was a wild character.
I
Totally
gotta see this.
spent through the entire family fortune. Very fun time.
Henry Paget.
All
Oh
right.
my God.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Oh no, this is just someone's Facebook.
Oh, I don't know if he's a cool dude.
I named Henry.
All right, our next entry is Lake Natron. First we'll do reality. A lake that, due to high levels of sodium bicarbonate, mummifies anything that dies in its waters, making them look like calcified statues. Despite this, it's a popular grazing ground for flamingos, leading to hundreds of flamingo statues littering the shallows of the lake.
Where did you say this took place?
Where did I say? That was the reality description.
Yeah, but like where geographically?
Oh, I didn't tell you. You don't get to know. Don't worry about it. All right, next, Lake Natron beckons with an ethereal allure that the inhabitants of nearby towns and villages warn about. This surreal landscape features towering crystalline formations that resemble exquisite sculptures of man and beast. The rumors say that any who enter the lake will be added to the ranks of these sculptures. And that was the fantasy.
Who
So,
goes first?
we'll say whichever one of you claims it, whichever one of you buzzes in. Feel free to talk out loud.
A lake where things are petrified seems like that is something that would happen in D&D. You know, like we got Medusas, we got what is it the weird chicken things.
Yep.
Cockatrice.
The cockatoos, the cockatrice. And so it seems like something that would be in D&D. However, if I was Megaphone Man
What?
and I was looking for something, if I was looking for
Don't put yourself in
something
my
that
shoes.
is
No, thank you.
real, something that is real that I need to turn into D&D, a lake that transforms
Right.
things into stone things, that's something I would immediately put in as something that's real to try to trick me.
But would Megaphone Men have thought of that?
I don't know. Ryan, what do you think?
So you went meta one direction. My meta is Natron feels like a name that, like, if I'm sitting here trying to think of names to put on my map, Natron sounds like something I'd come up with. Like, I can imagine somebody doing that. Now, granted, that's where all names come from. I know. But
Right.
You made that name up.
I'm gonna say fantasy again.
You're gonna say fantasy again.
Final answer.
Final answer. He's confident. Niko, are you as
Okay,
confident?
my final answer is going to be reality.
Oh, and unfortunately, Niko will take it again. They have both been real.
Man, this game really is intelligence based.
So it is. So dumb.
All right. We will see. Hey, maybe this one is your round, Ryan.
Oh, don't pity me. I don't want that.
No, there's no pity here.
Swinging.
I'm looking at
You're doing
this.
so
I think
good,
this is up your
buddy.
alley. I think this
Good
is.
try, bud.
Oh,
I think this
so
is for
okay,
you.
I've been losing.
All right.
Condescended to.
This one is Abramoch. Nestled in. This is the reality description first. Nestled in the Caradon region, Abramoch village is absolutely picturesque. The local artisans still blow glass in the traditional fashion and teach classes on their techniques to tourists passing through. For the more actively minded, the hiking trails in the mountains around Abramoch offer breathtaking vistas of the surrounding countryside. All right, now the fantasy. This city, also known as the Mount of Leaping Flames, is the only city on the layer of Phlegathos in the Nine Hells. It is considered a pleasure palace and sports a wide variety of casinos, taverns, theaters, and other entertainment venues. Niko's face
it's
really froze on a really funny
idyllic-
frame.
An idyllic, like village people settlement with blow glass and go on street hikes.
Yeah.
Or Las Vegas.
Yeah, Las Vegas and hell. Yeah.
Las Vegas, which is just normal Las Vegas.
Yeah. So, fellas, which one is which?
They're so complete opposites. I'm thinking. You go ahead, Ryan.
I'm gonna stick with my instincts and say fantasy again.
Do you think this is Satan Vegas?
Satan Vegas, yes.
Satan Vegas. Abramoch doesn't sound like an idyllic pastel village. So I'm gonna hit you with the fantasy.
You're going to hit me with the fantasy?
I'm gonna hit fantasy.
You are both
Final answer
correct.
to me.
It is Las Vegas in hell.
Yeah, what was it called again?
It was called Abramoch.
Yeah, that definitely sounds Abramoch.
Yeah.
I hope I spelled that right. Nope, I didn't. Who cares?
I was wondering if I could get one of you. I was thinking I could.
No.
Also, I am going to kick out that version of me because and I'm gonna turn off my camera because your guys's cameras kept kind of lagging when I had them both up. So I'm just readjusting them, and I'm just vamping, and we're good to go. All right. All right.
We don't want the stream to get too exciting.
No, certainly not. And I love that I interrupted your guys' vamping for my own vamping that had nothing to it. Yeah. That was awesome. That's expert streaming right there.
Expert streaming.
Yeah. All right. So next is Tenebros. Now, description A, the fantasy. Known as the shadow that was, Tenebros is the remains of a minor death god, also named Tenebros, who was the vengeful ghost of murdered demon prince Orcus, who managed to survive, so to speak, when Orcus managed to resurrect himself. Or, reality, it's a bougie coffee shop down the street from my house.
You kind of took my joke because I was thinking it's like a lazier knockoff of Five Guys.
Yeah.
It's Tenebros.
And bros.
Yes.
Um,
So I mean, is it? Is it though?
so
Ryan,
it's
I'll let you
either
go
a coffee
first,
shop
'cause I
near
already know.
you,
Yeah.
or it's the remains of some awful demon.
Yes. Yes. The shadow that was is its nickname.
Yeah, I'm gonna go fantasy again because who would name a coffee shop that? That's a really
It's a
tough
bad
sell
name.
to me.
Yeah.
Mhm. Either
Okay.
way, it's a bad name, even if it's real. It's still a bad name.
Okay.
You made a good attempt, Jack.
I did.
You made a good attempt.
To trick you?
Currently,
Uh-oh.
Tenebris is in my game
No!
on Patreon.
His
Fuck!
coffee shop is in your game?
Yes.
Why would you put
Shit!
that in? Oh no!
Yeah.
I get
Dang
it.
it.
I get it.
I change it. I heavily homebrewed it, but it is still in my game. So
Okay.
I'm gonna double down fantasy.
Okay, you are right. It is fantasy. I tried to trick you with a really short one. See if I could make a funny moment.
Ryan, we should just work together to overthrow Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, seeing as how. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think
This is ours now.
dang it, I tested these on some friends and they did much worse than you two. But also neither of them are DMs on DM Live. They didn't deserve
Yeah.
the spot.
Let's see how well they do.
Yeah. All right. Next one is Die Rokatsbruk. Is it either the reality? It is a man-made bridge. It is renowned for its incredible precision. The arch of the bridge, when viewed from right above the water, forms a perfect circle with its reflection. Due to this almost spooky accuracy, it has been nicknamed Devil's Bridge. Or, in the realm of Elendor stands the mythical Rokatsbruk, also known as the Fey Arch. Legend has it that those who traverse the arch under the light of a full moon are granted an audience with the Fey.
Oh, that's
I think
tough.
I think my favorite part of this game is that you think you need to specify for us which description is real and which one is fantasy.
What?
Because the one of them is like, there's this bridge that's really like it's a clean shape, and the other one is like beyond the Fey realm. It's like, okay, context.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it might be confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. I mean, this sounds like the name of a real bridge to me. I'm gonna.
That's what I was thinking. It sounds German.
Die Rokatsbruk.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean towards.
Yeah.
reality.
Okay.
Rokatsbruk.
So you're both locking reality?
I'm gonna lock fantasy because I want to make the game interesting.
I love it.
Already in the lead. What
Niko,
could go wrong?
yeah, Niko himself throwing for content because he was wrong. It was reality.
Wait, what? Well, we're tied now, aren't we?
I
Take it
also
all the same.
I also just realized
No,
I
you're
have
still ahead.
I have not been tallying your guys' wins at all. So
I think I got 2. We tied on 2, and then Brian got this.
That's right.
Okay.
Right. So you're still well ahead.
so
Still
Niko,
ahead.
you got 4 then. I'll start keeping tally.
4, Ryan's at 3.
Ryan's at 3. All right. There we go. And now, so, next is the very lovely named Blood Falls. Compared to the stark white of the surrounding snow, Blood Falls in
Is this
Antarctica.
fantasy or reality?
Oh, the one time I don't specify it.
Poisoned the well. Yeah.
Blood Falls in Antarctica is creepy to say the least. Dark red water gushes out of the ground here and spills across the landscape. There's nothing supernatural, however. Scientists have determined that the red coloring is just due to high levels of iron in the water. Or, This is the location of Lord Soth's first true massacre during the War of the Lance. At these waterfalls, a retinue from the Council of High Lords arrogantly stood against Lord Soth and his followers and paid the ultimate price. The location is still shunned by locals to this day.
It feels like it would be a tricky tourism destination, even up north.
Yeah. All the way wrapping around north to the south in Antarctica.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to imagine the T-shirts, the hats.
I see.
Yeah, the
I
blood
see.
falls.
I went to.
Yeah, when do you have the chance to coin blood falls as a phrase?
Oh, so you think it's unlikely because who's making merch of this?
I mean, marketability for
Right.
the tourism board would not be.
Not nearly as good as Dairo Katzbruck. Right.
That's right.
No.
That one just.
I'm
I
gonna
mean, you can
go-
see that one in lights. Yeah.
Ah.
I have a soft spot for Lord Soth. He's one of my favorite villains.
Okay. You know
I
more
haven't
about
had the
this than you
chance to
gave
use
yourself
him.
credit for.
I haven't had the chance to use Lord Soth yet, but I think it's really cool, and I think it's neat that he's like kind of like the right-hand man of Orcus.
Uh-huh.
And I like Orcus. I have a massive mini of Orcus. My mini collection is not nearly as impressive as Ryan's.
I would have
But
never used Tenebros if I known you were an Orcus guy. Shit.
I'm gonna go with fantasy on this one just because I like Lord Soth.
Okay.
Final answer.
Okay.
Yeah,
fine.
fantasy for me too.
Oh, I finally got both of you. This is in Antarctica, baby.
You're telling me
Oh.
some researcher in Antarctica saw like the blood red water and immediately didn't just run right back to their outpost and leave forever?
I think they probably did the first time, and then someone nutted
Right.
up 3 expeditions from now.
Right. Right. Man.
Yeah.
If I was in Antarctica, the first sign of trouble, I'd be out of there. I've seen what is it, the
Right.
thing? I've seen that. I know
Yeah.
what's going on?
All right. Next we have Storm Silverhand. Known as the Mother of Kings in Viking Age Norway, Gunhildr, translated to Storm, commanded and led dozens, if not hundreds, of Viking invasions into the British Isles. Or, the infamous Bard of Shadowdale, Storm is known for her stalwart defense of many cities throughout Faerun, and as well as personally restoring the works of legendary bard Finder Wyvernspur. Sorry.
I feel like Silverhand's one of those names.
I do too, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean by one of those names. I feel like that could
Smells like fantasy. No, like a fantasy. Like it's a name that I've heard.
Yeah.
But I think,
Ah.
as much as I say that, it may.
Silverhand also sounds like the name of a Viking who always has
Oh,
silver
for
in his
sure.
hand.
Yeah, I might be thinking of a different name. So but I briefly dug into Waterdeep lore for a game that it was a custom game, but I was setting it in Waterdeep,
Mhm.
and it wasn't Silverhand, but there's Silver something I think was like a name, like one of the lords or something like that. So I might be confusing things. So maybe it's real.
Maybe. I like seeing the pain on Niko's face. It'll be good for a thumbnail. That's great.
Yes,
I'm making so many thumbnail faces right now.
that's just
God.
being nice.
Just his way of saying, Niko, you look weird right now.
No. You look content right now. You look very.
I look content.
Which is
Yeah.
better.
Not
We
content,
decide.
I look content.
Yeah, way
Um,
better. Dice brain, more like content brain. I've made that joke before.
You made that joke. It's still funny though, because that's my name in it.
Yeah.
You should talk about me more. I like it when you do that.
Gives you time to really consider. Yeah. It gives you time to
Yeah.
stall.
I am
gonna-
descended from Vikings, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with reality because I must represent.
Mhm.
At the risk of handing off another total whiff on our part, I'll go reality as well.
But if you're going
Mm.
reality, I want to go fantasy. Come on.
You wanted to go fantasy?
If Ryan's going reality, I'm going fantasy.
Oh, I
That's
see.
smart.
You
Then
don't
he
want to
doesn't get
risk
any-
the
okay.
whiff.
Yeah.
I see.
I'll take the reality hit. I'll take it. You can have fantasy.
All right. It was a hit indeed because it is fantasy.
I remember my gambit worked. My
You did.
gambit
You
worked.
twisted it on me.
I got you. With
You
the
really, you
reverser.
waited for him to go just so that you could sneak
Yes.
one in.
Because there is someone named Silverhand in Waterdeep, and you were right. You were right all
Damn
along,
it.
Ryan.
What? I thought we were collaborating here. Where'd that go? All right.
Oh no,
I
the
need to go
collaboration's
fourth
late.
level.
As I started getting in the lead, that's where it went.
Okay.
It is currently 5-3. So it is, but you have a chance to come back, Ryan. You have a chance. Now, this one's
Ryan,
going to be a
since I'm in
tough
the
one.
lead, I'm sorry, before you go, Jack. Ryan, since you're in the lead, I'm
You're
going
in
to
the
let you
lead.
answer first, and then I'll answer. Since I'm in the lead, I want to even things out
Okay.
because this is still content. I'm gonna have let's have you answer first,
Aw,
and then I'll answer the opposite of whatever you answer.
Okay.
okay. I love it. I love it. Well, this one might be my toughest one yet. Or not, I don't know. It's really hard to judge them myself. This one is the Adventurer Mart. Excuse me. A shop on Joaquin's Promenade. It mostly caters to adventurers looking to buy magical items and weapons. They even sold magical scrolls in defiance of the cowled wizards. Or, a famous and frequent pop-up stand, Adventurer Mart can be found at medieval times, Renaissance fairs, and many other fantasy-themed events, selling props and costume items to attendees.
Shit. You're really riding that line on this one. Because
Uh-huh.
it's either fantasy or pretend fantasy, which is also fantasy.
No.
Oh, no.
In the reality of this, it's an LLC. It's registered. It's
Most of these names are also trademarks, just to be clear.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding with you. I'm gonna say this being at a run fair makes total sense. I'm gonna say reality.
Okay. Oh, are you regretting committing to switching, Niko?
Cowled Wizard sounds like something ChatGPT would write, which is how I'm assuming you're filling in some of these gaps.
Uh-huh. Go ahead, maybe.
The Cowled Wizards. That is 100%.
They're wizards we got.
I won't
use
hold you to it. I
ChatGPT
won't
often.
hold you to it.
Absolutely not. But
Okay.
that sounds like something ChatGPT would write. So I would love to go fantasy, but I'm sticking. I would love to go reality, but I'm sticking to my promise because I'm a man of honor and I'm going to go fantasy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh boy. That promise is working out for you because this is from the D&D setting Baldur's Gate. It is from the video game Baldur's Gate 1.
Holy cow.
It is the Adventurer Mart.
That is so
You know what?
lame.
You can have that. That's such a cursed point. You can have it. That
is
whole
such-
idea.
I was just scrolling through wikis. I found that. I was like, ooh,
Wow.
that's the one.
That is so lame.
So if it sounds like ChatGPT wrote it, it's because Wizards of the Coast wrote it.
All right.
All right. Now,
It's a 3.
there are 2 left. Unfortunately, Ryan, there's no way that you can come back for
way
this
at all.
game. But these points
No way at all.
will transfer into our next game, so it's still important to get as many as possible.
Oh, I'm trying. No, to be clear. I appreciate you clarifying that.
All right. Well, we'll do the next one, which just so happens to reference Baldur's Gate. The Council of Four. The 4 Grand Dukes who rule Baldur's Gates since its famous tax revolt. The council served as a member of the Lord's Alliance, which also included Waterdeep and Silvery Moon. Or is the Council of Four the self-given nickname to the 4 creators of the first edition of D&D? Gary Gygax, Ray Rodriguez, Tim Miller, and Dave Arneson. This council would eventually become just 2 during the creation of a D&D, after Rodriguez and Miller left the development team due to creative disputes with Gygax and Arneson. This is a history question.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, this is the
I
most
mean, it sounds like
quiet.
something they would call themselves.
That is some nerd shit.
Uh-huh. Or is it something I would call them?
Serious nerd.
Um,
That is tough.
I think I usually I reason myself into all the wrong choices, but here's my thought process. It seems like
Yeah.
Yeah.
all of my ideas are wrong.
Sure.
So keep that in mind. It sounds Council of 4 being them makes more. I feel like if there was a council number in fantasy, it wouldn't be only 4. It'd be 5. It'd be 6. It'd be 8. Council of 4 sounds too small for a council, so I'm gonna go reality.
Okay. Now, Niko,
That's some really good reasoning.
you can keep
That's
doing.
really smart.
You can keep going the counter pick, or you could keep your lead if you think that Ryan's right.
I think this is a trick answer. I think it's both. I think what you said about that's the Gygax and his buddies, I think that's true. And then the people who wrote Baldur's Gate were paying homage to the creators of D&D and put a Council of 4 in Baldur's Gate.
That's a super fun answer and not acceptable. One of them is fake. But that was a fun monologue. I loved that.
I mean, that would have been great if you were right. Yeah.
Yeah, if you were right and you just binked that, holy, that would have been cool.
I'm gonna
Still
say
would have only been
fantasy.
1 point, but
You're going to say fantasy, and Ryan, your reality?
Fantasy.
saying reality. Yep.
Ryan, you do keep reasoning yourself out of the right answer, because it is fantasy.
Why is Baldur's Gate so poorly written?
Maybe I should have reconvinced myself back into it being the answer because it doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
No, that was
Yeah.
such a good.
Yeah, we're just learning all about the Baldur's Gate lore, and then we'll all go and play Baldur's Gate 3 when it comes out, and just have a grand old time.
I should do one of those videos about Descent into Avernus, because apparently there's a wealth of poorly written content in Baldur's Gate.
Potentially. All right. The last one.
Good game.
Yeah, it's the last one. We're not done yet.
Oh.
Okay.
We've got one more. It is Cthulhu. Now, is Cthulhu a member of the pantheon on Mazteca? Cthulhu is the father of the other gods. He was the god of the stars and the husband of the goddess Mazteca, the namesake of the continent. Or, daughter of Genghis Khan, Cthulhu was a warrior in her own right and assisted her father in his campaigns. She had many after her hand in marriage, but she insisted that whoever married her must first defeat her in a wrestling match. Cthulhu wagered horses with her would-be suitors. All right, go with your gut. Don't let...
My gut's been wrong every time. I've gone with my gut.
Yeah. Determine your actual answer and then just flip it. Just...
And then you flip it.
I know
2
what I
minutes
want to
from
go
now. You go then. You go first.
Oh, that's true, Niko.
Given that Mazteca, Tudaloon, it sounds like Tenochtitlan, which is like South American. I'm getting South American vibes from like Mazteca. Sounds like the Toltec or the Toltecs.
Sure.
Mhm.
It is the in the Forgotten Realms. It is the homeland of the Tabaxi.
Yeah, I'm getting South American pre-colonial vibes, and I know after running a South American style game that there's not a lot of content for that. And Genghis Khan had a lot of kids, so there's A lot of possibilities there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with reality. Final answer. Submit.
Submitted.
And just to cover our bases, I'll go fantasy.
Ah, Ryan, it's so disappointing. It's reality.
So just a quick victory lap around Ryan
Yeah.
before we move
Brutal.
on to the
Brutal.
next segment.
Well, here's what twists it though, because especially if you're going back that far with stuff,
Uh,
there's a lot of old content written for D&D that does not really modify a lot of names that they're referencing very, very much. So
yup.
I went down the line. You went, Nico, but thought, like, yeah, this is just like bad, like 30-year-old
Poorly
adventure
written.
writing.
So-
yeah,
The god that I was referencing in the fantasy description does exist, and his name is like Catalan, not Cthulhu. So it was very close. It was deceptive. It was purposefully tricky, some might say.
Victory
Good
drink
job.
right here.
That's a victory drink. At the end of our first round, we have Niko with 8. Each of those answers was worth 20 points, leaving him with a solid 160 going into our second game, with Ryan trailing at a still respectable 60 points.
All
That's
right,
right.
great stream, guys.
No. All right. And our second game is Google Trends. Now, this is not a game show created by me. This game show was created by Funhouse, and it pits 2 teams, or in our case, 2 individuals, against each other to come up with the most trendy terms. Each round, I will give them a term. They will have to come up with a word to pair with that term, putting it either before or after in order to get the highest search popularity on the Google Trends website. For example, if the term for the round was dog, 2 examples of words the contestants might use are training and boarding. They can arrange the words in whatever order they would like, and we will all view the results live. Live! We're doing it live.
Do we get to see? Is there a screen that we're going to be looking at?
Yes, I will screen record, and I will share it over to you fellas. Or I'll screen share. So,
Yes,
let's see.
I will.
I accidentally viewed my own stream. Poor form.
It's always fun.
Yeah.